Hello and welcome to Nigeria Now on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, the program which brings you newspaper analysis for the different national dailies here in Nigeria. My name is Sagir Ibrahim, and as always I have in the studio the sub-editor here at TOS TV Network, Mr. Adebayo Fajimi. Good morning, Mr. Adebayo.
Good morning, Mr. Sagir.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm very fine.
Okay, so this morning I looked at the front pages and I see just one headline replicated across almost all the national dailies of today, and that's let's just start with the Daily Times newspaper, which states 2023 presidency, northern governors reject southern governors' position. Says southern governors' insistence on power shift unconstitutional. VAT collection by states will increase prices of goods, collapse interstate trade. And finally, northern governors only excised their rights under freedom of expression, and that's according to southern governors. Now, on the Daily Trust newspaper as well, we see it as the banner headline: 2023, North rejects southern governors' demand for power shift. Says they're confused over VAT. Another allegation. Hails anti-banditry operation. Afenifere Pandef condemns stance governor's mom. Now, still on the Blueprint newspaper as well, we can also see the same as its banner headline: 2023 Northern Governors kick, rejects power shift to the South. Says 1999 Constitution provides for majority rule, backs FG's position on VAT, urge action on National Livestock Transformation Program, task troops on simultaneous operations across insurgents, governor's position on power shift not in national interest, and that's according to a rights activist. And finally, on the Nigerian News Direct newspaper, northern governors, traditional rulers condemn southern counterparts on zoning principle. Southern governors confusing VAT for sales tax, and that's by NSGF. So one thing that I can pick as similar across all of these headlines is number one, northern governors saying that they would not agree to a power shift as demanded by southern governors. Another one is them, stamping their feet to say, look, the federal government has said VAT stands. Even a court has ruled in support of that. So it stands, and they support the normal and the usual formula of sharing VAT as we know. As well, we see another issue which is also replicated across all of them, and which is the fact that they are hailing, the Nigerian army for its various operations across the various, zones, and calling on them to keep doing all of this to ensure that the nation is secured. But however, they still stamp their feet that zoning is something they do not support. Don't you think the fact that the North is invoking or reminding the South that they have the majority and the majority always carries the vote is sort of, how do I put this so lightly? It's sort of a deliberate move to not, I don't want to call it oppression, sort of, but rubbing it in their face that, look, whatever you do, we're always going to have the upper hand.
Well, firstly, we need to understand that democracy is about right, not who is right, because sometimes even the majority can be foolish. Do you understand? So, and when you have a community or a group of people, a nation like Nigeria that is heterogeneous in nature, there is no way something like this will not happen. And if you have observed, Nigerian polity over the years, though we know that the zoning of political something zoning of presidency is not in our constitution, but it is a norm in our national polity because of the nature of the country.
Yeah, I feel some said because of the heterogeneity of the country, this is necessary, so it might not be in the law books, but it's just common sense.
Yes, and this is what has been giving each region a sense of belonging, a sense that, okay, they are not being marginalized. And if you look at, most of the separatists, especially from the South, honestly, this is part of what they are clamoring for. And you see a group of people saying since Nigeria independence that they have never produced a president. And, that tells on them and say, are we truly part of this country if truly we are one, if truly we are in unity. So now, just like we see, as you know, some time ago, we have the spokesperson of NEMF and Dr. Ahmed Baba saying they have the majority and all of that. Well, whichever the case is, say, well, they will not play second fiddle. How did they put it? That they will always, but there is no region you look at who cannot produce, that cannot produce a president. So to be fair enough to other parts of the country, I think it is necessary that this comes to play, and there is no political party that does not have zoning formula. So what I just think everybody needs to do now is just, we should drop this war of war, accusing one another, and so whichever or whoever is going to emerge as president should be one of the best, not just a mediocre. So all this, if we still want this nation, to be in unity, to be in oneness, and to, for everybody to have sense of belonging, there is need for us to allow that. If we do not want to experience another, worst experience of agitation and all of that. So I think zoning is very, very important, and it's something they need to look at.
All right, okay, so now let's talk about the value-added tax saga now that we've been seeing for the past 1 month or so. The northern governors have come out to say we are in full support of the federal government and the FIRS collecting the tax, and we feel that should continue. The southern governors, on the other hand, is saying, look, we're not in support. We need our VAT to develop our state. So there's sort of a contrast between the southern governors and the northern governor. And one interesting thing about this entire VAT saga that I have personally enjoyed is the fact that they have put party politics aside, and they've come out as one region with one voice saying, this is what we want and this is what we don't want. It doesn't matter whether you are in PDC, APA, or whatever it is that you are. They are stating it categorically. It transcends party politics. It is a matter of our region. It's a matter of the lives and developing infrastructure in our region and developing the lives of our people. We do not want this, or we want this. Now, however, don't you think the northern governors are a little bit in over their heads to say we support this, especially when we know that a lot of these VATs being generated are not even coming from the north in the first place, despite the fact that they are number one in the majority. Number two, they have more people in terms of human per capita. And number three as well, there are more businesses in the north than in the south. But yes, the VATs are being generated more in the south than in the north. And then here you are insisting and saying you support the federal government, especially being aware of the injustices that are happening, or the acclaimed injustices happening in the sharing formula, where somebody remits 33 billion and is getting 8 billion, and another person is remitting 2.8 billion and getting the exact 2.8 billion. So don't you think there's just a little imbalance here?
Oh, well, there is advantages and disadvantages, of this call, if you look at it very carefully. But what I think is happening here, when something, when you have a source of wealth, and just as somebody just wake up someday and he wants to stop that abruptly, there is no way, and there is no way you will not react, because the first thing that comes to your mind is, hey, if this thing stops, what's going to be, the next line of action? Unprepared. So this agitation, this agitation, all this that people have been talking about, still bounds on the restructuring. We're talking about fiscal federalism, because there's no way somebody will be giving 8 billion naira and is getting in return 2 billion naira. Somebody who is not even giving anything up to that is getting the exact thing. So I think there's no fairness in this, and that is the issue. So if there is fairness and everybody has a sense of belonging, what is accruing to their accounts, they are using it to develop their state, and the citizens are enjoying good governance and all of that, there wouldn't have been all these issues. So it all still bounds on, let's come together, let's indulge and crave fiscal federalism, and ensure that everybody is okay wherever they belong.
All right. I wish we could continue the conversation, but unfortunately, that's the much we can take for Nigeria Now at this moment. Remember, Nigeria Now continues same time tomorrow on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, and you can be part of Nigeria Now by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You could also watch Nigeria Now via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com, as well as watch a recap via our YouTube page at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, my name is Sagir Ibrahim, and I'll see you tomorrow.